Africa's economic transformation relies on one critical factor: the growth of its micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. MSMEs are the heartbeat of innovation, transformation, and opportunity, yet their access to finance remains a persistent challenge. For nearly 15 years, Africa Guarantee Fund (AGF) has been a cornerstone of SME growth in Africa. By addressing challenges faced by SMEs, we have catalyzed sustainable development, inclusive entrepreneurship, and economic transformation. Partnering with over 250 financial institutions, we have unlocked close to $6 billion in financing for SMEs across 44 African countries, creating over 500,000 jobs and generating $4.4 billion in incremental income annually. As the continent transitions into a greener, more sustainable future, AGF continues to lead through targeted solutions such as the Green Guarantee Facility, enabling SMEs to adopt clean energy solutions, generating 75,000 kilowatts in renewable energy, avoiding 4 million tons in carbon emissions, and connecting 8 million households to electricity. With a $49 billion financing gap facing women entrepreneurs in Africa, championing gender inclusion remains core to the AGF's mandate. Through the AFAWA Guarantee for Growth program, we have mobilized close to $800 million in loans for women SMEs, empowering them to lead and grow resilient businesses. Under our capacity development program, we are not only enhancing financial institutions, operational efficiencies, and SME lending capabilities, but also empowering the current and next generation of SMEs through targeted technical assistance aimed at improving their bankability and business management models. With the backing of our shareholders and sponsors, African Guarantee Fund remains a trusted partner committed to Africa's prosperity. We are structuring solutions, shaping ecosystems, and scaling impact. We are a guarantee for African growth.
Began further together. I'd like to now welcome Jules Ngakam, Group CEO of African Guarantee Fund, to come and share his considerable insights on how we bridge the funding gap for women entrepreneurs. I love the speed to the stage because he knows the women are looking for that partnership. Thank you, Jules.
Good evening, everyone. So it's a great honor to be here today in front of you to make an address on the funding gap for women entrepreneurs in Africa. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Lioness of Africa. Melanie, thank you for all the work we are doing, and also to the government of Netherlands through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Peter, thank you very much. For all the effort, for all the support you've given to the African Guarantee Fund. So we are here tonight for Africa to support the women entrepreneurs. You've mentioned the challenges that women they are going through in Africa, and I can tell those challenges are many. And when we see all the women today here that managed to come here today to pitch, to present your program, I can tell you those women, they are beating the odds every single day in Africa. And just to give you some statistics, because we like to say that Africa is a country of imbalances. We have so many imbalances in Africa, and sometimes we wonder how that is even possible. So the first one is participation versus contribution in economic activity. Women in Africa, they have the highest participation in economic activity in the world. In the world, women in Africa, the highest participation in economic activity. And why is that? It's because, the notion of housewife doesn't exist in Africa. It doesn't mean anything. Because when we say housewife, what we mean is the one taking care of the house. But women in Africa, In addition to taking care of the house, they always run a business on the side. You know, they sell clothes, they sell fruit, they run a small restaurant, they sell the homemade jewelry. So meaning they all participate. So housewife doesn't mean anything. But where is the imbalance is that when we look at the contribution of African women in the GDP, is the lowest in the world. So on one hand, they have the highest participation in economic activity in the world. But on the other hand, they have the lowest contribution in the GDP. That is really a problem. And then, you know, when you see that, you always ask the question, what if they were able to achieve their full potential? And what is the reason for that? Because the majority of women, they are in the informal sector. 70% of businesses in the informal sector in Africa are owned or led by women. And because they are in the informal sector, their contribution is not well accounted for. And also in terms of productivity, their productivity is very low. This is one of the imbalance. You know, the second one, we like to talk about food security, you know, the agricultural sector. Women in Africa, they've understood that this is the way to go. Agriculture, food security. When you look at the workforce in the agricultural sector, women, they represent two-thirds of the agricultural sector in Africa, meaning every time when we see food in our plate, two-thirds of the women, they contributed to that food. But again, we have a huge imbalance. Land ownership. Women own only 3% of agricultural land in Africa. So on one hand, they represent two-thirds of the workforce in agriculture. But on the other hand, they own only 3% of the land. Again, what if? What if they had access to more land? Because, you know, a study has shown that productivity increases when the farmers own land that they cultivate. So what if they could have, we're not asking to have all land, but 3% honestly is too low. Can we push it to 10 to 15%? Another imbalance, you know, income versus how they spend that income. Again, in Africa, women, we invest 90% of their income. For men, it's 40% as a comparison. But at the same time, they have the lowest income in the world. So when you look at income by gender, by continent, African women, they come at the very bottom. But they are the one who reinvest the majority in their family, but at the same time, the one who have the lowest income. Another what if they could get more income? What will be the impact on the community, on their family, on the society, on our countries? Something has to be done. And then the last one, the last imbalance, you know, entrepreneurship, and that's why we are here today. When it comes to entrepreneurship, Africa has the highest rate of female entrepreneurs also in the world. 25% of women in Africa have started their own business. In Asia is 6%, America 12%, in Europe 13%. We can be proud of that. 25% of women in Africa have started their own business. Why? It's out of necessity. They cannot count on corporate job. So they understood that they have to create their own job. But again, do they have access to finance? Only 5% of loan application from women-owned or led businesses got accepted. 5%. For male is 40%. So do we see the gap again? They are very courageous. They want to start business, but no bank want to finance them. So this is also something that we need to change. But again, what are the solutions? And this is where AGF will come into play to support women entrepreneurship in Africa. So how do we look at it? The way we look at it is that on one side, we have the demand side. The demand is from the SMEs, the women-owned or led businesses. They're the one demanding access to finance. And on the other hand, we have the supply. The supply are the banks, the financial institution. They are the ones supplying this financing to those entrepreneurs. But the link is broken, and our goal is how do we make sure that they can communicate, the banks, the entrepreneur, they can come together to get access to finance. Melanie, I like what you were saying earlier, you want funds. But the fund is there. It's not just moving to the right place. And this is what we want to unlock. And at AGF, we do it on the demand side. We help women to formalize. Sometimes they don't want to formalize because of the tax issue, but we explain to them, these are the benefit from being formal, and also these are the benefit of not being formal. You avoid paying taxes, and you compare. We take them through the whole process, understanding how to do tax filing. We help them to improve bookkeeping. This is also very critical. They need to make sure that they do proper bookkeeping. The banks, they need that in order to do a proper risk assessment. We want them to be bankable, and this is the Lioness of Africa has been one of our very key partners, supporting women across the continent to be bankable. We've signed an agreement, with the Lioness in Africa in Kenya with Absa Bank. The job that they've been doing is just fantastic, giving, hope to those women that your project is bankable if we go through a certain process. We want them to acquire assets. We want to increase their productivity, to leverage on technology, to have access to market, and also to have access to finance and various financial services. These are for the women, own or led businesses. But we need also to talk to the commercial bank, because again, we want both of them to come together. So with the commercial bank, what we do as AGF, we de-risk their exposure. So we cover from 50 to 75% to give them more comfort, telling them that the risk that you are taking is worth it. We also help the bank to reduce the interest rate, because risk is not the only challenge, it's also the cost. Sometimes it can be very costly. We want the bank to design tailored product that fits with the need of the women, fit with their family condition, so that they don't have maybe to go to the branches, fit with the fact that they cannot provide collateral, they cannot provide financial statement. And we want also the bank to meet the regulatory type of requirement. And we believe that by doing all that, all these imbalances, we will be able to reduce them. So as AGF, we have been able to unlock $1 billion of financing to women over the last 3 years, thanks to the support from different donors, including the government of Netherlands. We are very grateful for that, very thankful. That has been done through 191 financial institutions in 39 countries in Africa. We have supported 15,000 SMEs, and we will keep on working together with those financial institutions to do more. So as I conclude, say one word is partnership. Partnership is key. No institution alone can achieve those challenging goals. And then we are committed to building a strong partnership with the financial institution, the banks, the SMEs, the entrepreneur, the regulator, the central bank, the government, the policymaker, to ensure that we unlock the potential of women-owned led of businesses in Africa. To the entrepreneur in the room, as I said earlier, you being here today means that you were able to beat so many odds. So this is your platform. Use this platform to showcase your vision, your impact, your growth potential, and your financial need. We are here to support you. Thank you for believing in what you do. Thank you for transforming our continent. Our continent has been like a bird trained to fly with one wing. We have to fly with both wings. And that's why we need you. And again, it comes to the what if. You unlock your potential what if for our continent. Thank you to the organizer, and thank you once again to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, you were very welcoming. If your plan was to make sure that I come back to Netherlands, to Den Haag, I can say you have succeeded. I will be here all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jules. Reinforcing once again the key themes of Startup Night Africa. It's all about the power of partnership to make positive change happen for the women entrepreneurs in this room at policy level, funding level, and at business level. One question: what if?
In Kenya, women entrepreneurs are a driving force for economic progress in accessing financing. The African Guarantee Fund, through its innovative partnerships, is reshaping the landscape for women-owned and led businesses, providing them with not only financial banking but also the knowledge and tools to thrive. In this video, we follow the journey of one resilient entrepreneur supported by AGF, Absa Bank Kenya, and Melanin Capital, under the Tuungane 2X na Absa initiative. Lynette shares how the program empowered her to overcome barriers in accessing financing and scale her food business. Our first story takes us to Haywood Enterprises, where the beneficiary of the AGF supported program.
My name is Lynette Kinyagidai, the founder and CEO of Haywood Enterprises Limited. Our business is in providing sustainable, nutritious meals to the busy working professional. One of the challenges I faced when I was getting access to funding from the banks was lack of information. As an entrepreneur, I never got to understand my business model. So when I used to go to the bank to access financing, they would ask me questions like, where's your balance sheet? Where's your audited accounts? And I was like, what? That is actually a challenge I didn't get to understand. So one of the obstacles I had from when I was getting access to funding was the understanding of business, of what an entrepreneur should be doing so that they're able to grow their businesses. So one of the issues was actually lack of information. Through the challenges that I got from accessing the funds from the bank, I was able to do a training with Tuungane 2X program that has been funded by African Guarantee Fund that was able to help me get training to be able to enlighten me more on how to better run my business and also to be able to understand my business model. So through the training and thanks to AGF, I was able to understand why I am in business, why my balance sheets, how it's supposed to look like. So I really appreciate the program because of the training I was able to get. It really gave me a lot of confidence. It really made me realize that there's light in terms of how I run my business. The support has been quite beneficial to my business. I've been able to actually invest in an ERP system, something that I could never have thought to invest in my business. It has helped in improving my the efficiency of the business because we are paperless right now when we are doing orders. We are able to be able are what our purchases are. Our employees have become more productive because there is not a lot of paperwork. I've been able to install an 8,000 liter tank for my business to improve on the efficiency in regards to having clean food, in regards to ensuring that our environment is also clean. So the AGF has really benefited my business.
Lynetta's journey highlights the power of targeted support in unlocking potential and fostering growth for women SMEs in Kenya. But behind her success is a network of expertise and mentorship. Institutions like Melanin Capital play a crucial role equipping entrepreneurs with the essential skills and guidance to navigate the financial landscape. Next, we meet Melanie Keita, who shares how Melanin Capital's unique approach to training and sustainability empowers women SMEs like Haywood Enterprises, helping them become credit ready. Melanin Capital's training and mentorship lay a crucial foundation, helping women entrepreneurs build the skills and resilience needed to grow.
Being able for us, Melanin Capital, to partner with the African Guarantee Fund really helps us to scale the impact of the financial literacy and climate literacy training that we're doing with small businesses. Essentially, when you want to give access to finance and finance the green transition, it's key to have partners, institutional partners that can help us not only partner with the banks like ABSA banks, but also to provide the technical assistance that the bank need to adopt our technology and adopt the trainings that we want to provide to the small businesses. So being able to partner with AGF was actually fantastic for Melanin Capital. It was a key partner for us to be able to support now like 5,000 businesses that we are looking to train in terms of financial literacy, in terms of climate literacy, and then give access to green lending. So we are looking to expand even beyond East Africa with African Guarantee Fund so that we can continue to provide more.
Despite such efforts, African women SMEs still face a $49 billion financing gap. In partnership with ABSA Bank Kenya, AGF is at the forefront of bridging this divide through the AFAWA Guarantee for Growth program, which aims to expand access to finance for women SMEs. ABSA plays a vital role in providing accessible, innovative financing solutions that drive sustainable growth, ensuring that these entrepreneurs can overcome financial barriers and scale their impact. Alex Kariuki, the head of strategy at ABSA, speaks on how partnering with AGF is transforming access to finance for women entrepreneurs in Kenya.
We went to the market, speaking to women entrepreneurs, asking them what is it that they would want a financial institutions to do for them. And they said so many things. And I think out of the things that they said, we picked probably broadly 4 key pillars that speaks to our proposition. I think the first thing they said is, and the gap that we saw is that one, they need access to markets, for example. So if you're a woman entrepreneur and you produce goods, you have a service, but you don't have a market, the business collapses. I think the other bit that we also picked is training, and training that allows them to scale up their business. So we picked that as another pillar. Mentorship and networking, which is again something that helps them to grow. We have seen, and if you look at the numbers, we've seen a low uptake of financing within the market, and it's not only to SMEs. I would say sort of impacted the uptake that we would have hoped for. But having said that, we still saw a good number of women take loans. Some I would say were finance led. They took bank loans. Others also took loans through our mobile lending solution, Timisa. So I would say with that we ticked. And again also, taking financial solution is not just taking a loan. Again also, giving you an account that allows you to transact, that allows you to separate your personal finances and business finances is also another solution. So again, within that cohort, we saw quite a number of women open bank accounts where they're able now to track what are they collecting on a daily basis.
Since we've started Melanin Capital in 2020, we've seen that many women businesses, in particular in Kenya, were facing 3 main challenges. First was access to information, second was access to a collateral, and third was like speed of accessing the capital. And thanks to using like digital processes and a digital platform like we do with our fintech product at Melanin Capital, we're able to spread a lot of information on how the business needs to be structured for those women businesses to get